Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel, and before I get started on the rereading of Project Death and the additional notes I've taken, what needs to be improved, what can stay, what I loved, what I hated, what I need to change, yes, I wanted to discuss what my Preptober / starting NaNoWriMo early looked like. I originally wanted to start in October because I wanted to finish on November 30th, really have like that NaNoWriMo push halfway through the project. But I figured it was important to do a quick count of how many work days I had and how many words I expect this project to be. As I'm starting the 4th draft, I'm more certain of the word count, though still not completely positive. And I have a lot of re-outline notes that I'm really excited to implement, but still, yes, there's a little bit of mystery in this educated guess. So first off, my workday method means that I'm not accounting for work on the weekends. This is how I've been setting all of my goals recently, in part because even though I do still often work on the weekends, I'd like to have them free in theory. So it's better to just plan my goals ahead of time, not counting the weekends in. I will also be traveling during November. I'm going to Walt Disney World for the Wine and Dine 10K, which I'm very excited for, and then I'm going with my friend Becca C. Smith to Comic-Con, and I can't wait. But both of those are like pretty big things in November. So anyways, after taking those into account and taking weekends into account, that leaves me with 21 work days in October and only 11 work days in November. After having not traveled in a while, or so it seems compared to how I used to travel, November's back to the chaos. So if in total that's 32 work days over the next 2 months, then I had to figure out how many words I would probably need to write each day. And so as you'll see in this reread, about the first 15,000 words or so don't need huge changes. There still needs to be an improvement in the world building and some like ticky-tacky stuff, but it also gave me a good barometer for how I have the novel kind of segmented out besides that first fifth. So I basically just did 15K times 5 and then added a little bit of wiggle room. So I just decided 80K is probably about where it's gonna be. And the funny part is that if you do 80K divided by 32 work days, that is 2,500 words a day, which thankfully isn't crazy. It's a little bit higher than a normal NaNoWriMo is, but again, I'm starting in October and I'm not taking weekends into account. So after doing the math, my hope is still that I will finish on November 30th, along with my other NaNoWriMo rebels and other Nano participants. In fact, November should, in theory, be where I'm at the back third of the novel. So I think I really will need that push of my fellow NaNoWriMo participants then, because that's the part that is the most up in the air as of my current reread and re-outline, which you will see later in this vlog, yes. But for a little bit of a spoiler, I'm very excited for what Project Death is going to lead to. So even if, not to put it out into the universe, even if it takes past November, I've made plans with my good friend Jessica Williamson to exchange drafts on January 1st and act as critique partners for each other. So worst case, I just need to be done on December 31st, but really I'm still aiming for that November 30th, okay? Okay, and now without further ado, it is time to get to the reread of Project Death Draft 3 and Draft 2. It will make sense soon. What are you doing? Are you gonna bite it? Are you gonna get it? Anyways, I got the old computer up because I need to transfer Project Death over to my other computer. What is happening? Oh wow, see, okay, so I knew I didn't get far in this rewrite for Draft 3, but yeah, I only got 17,000 words through. So I think what I'll actually do is take Draft 3 and go back and find Draft 2. All right, let's do that exporting thing. It's the one downside with this old computer is it just does not want to. Oh no. Computer now. Okay. We are instead going to panic and transfer everything off of this computer. Blah. Then. Now I have all sorts of things, so. Alright. You ready to go say hi to your sisters? Oh, thank you for my legs. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna open up that 17,000 one. I'm going to have it up like this. And then I'm going to open up my current draft 4 and the re-outline notes. Okay, I already read through the first, like, I don't know, this chunk. I'm supposed to be taking notes, but so far, so good. To give myself some credit, I think part of it is because I start off with some intrigue. Project Death. Must start with the body. I mentioned the god of death, but then it's kind of uncertain exactly what's happening. And then we get to see her best friend and her have like a kind of funny dynamic early on to bring some levity to, once again, the body had been found. So it's a good like 15 paragraphs or so. So the start is good. Hooray. Which is what I'd remembered from the last time I worked on Project Death, but I've definitely had stories before where I think I started it in the right spot and it'll nag at me. I've never really had this one nag at me, so just getting better and better. Well, I got a single comment. Okay, I have too much stuff to continue before cleaning it up, so that's what we're gonna do first. Better. And now we can actually do the one I am reading over here until it is time for my stream later. Yeah. So I have 387 words, and I just finished rereading the first chapter. So basically with both scenes. So at first it just started off with reactions, which I like to do. And then I have a couple of like fixed spots, but none of them are substantial. They're kind of more line editing, if anything, because this first chapter is actually really good. Which is what I remembered from the last time I did it, but it is so reassuring to have nailed this first chapter that I think what I actually need to do, if I can remember, I'm putting it on camera so I will remember, is that when I get lost later on, all I need to do is reread this first chapter, because it almost immediately promises you what we're going to see, or at least some of what we're going to see, and it's so good. I don't think the rest of the story is this good. I know, because it just, the struggle I had with the Prince character, but I am so hopeful that this is a good indication of what I can make it. Please. Anyways, whenever I have doubt, I will have to reread this chapter because it will make me feel better and propel me forward. On to the next one. Alright, so I have the Twitch studio pulled up and I have project at 3.0 and draft 4. So I may continue the reread. Hello! We got Christine, we got Giselle, we got Kit Madden, Io Writer, Jillian, Creative Aquarian, Lady Sip, Giselle, I Write, hi. All right, I just finished the stream, and as I told them, I am quickly approaching the first on-screen murder that my character is going to commit. I'm very excited. Chapter 5, with everything that happens in the intro chapter, I think this is a good place to have the first on-screen murder, and it's really, it's nice because everything's really setting up in the way I wanted it to. So let's see, I'm currently at 1,364 notes. And so I would say that if I had to choose a chapter that was kind of all over the place, it was probably chapter 2 needed more work blending into the next scene. And then chapter 3, you can see I had to bold stuff because I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. But I do think I figured it out well enough that when it comes time to rewrite it in like less than a week, hopefully, if I can finish this reread this weekend, I'll be able to do it. And the first 4 chapters that I've completed so far have been actually like pretty clean, pretty good. So other than obviously the changes and editing some parts of it, like I'm still feeling very hopeful, which is a good place to be, because then I can once again always go back and reread the first chapter or the first bit to make myself feel better in these kind of later parts that I'm potentially less sure on as I'm extracting the character and changing more things. So fingers crossed. Also, we got 2 cuties being best friends. Oh, what a big yawn. Oh, y'all are being so cute, so good. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for now. Okay, so we're back. We've eaten. I've just compiled all of this, and I'm now going to attempt to upload it, if everything goes how it should, into my Google Doc so that I may read it on my phone while at the pool. It says it worked, but did it? But did it though? But did it really? It did. Chapter 2. Hell yeah. Chapter 3. Okay. And I'm on chapter 5. Pull down.
River is my brain, is my brain. I may call 'cause the red river is my brain.
Yeah, it's a little big piece, switching it big piece.
Follow them on Facebook, Red Mount Rockers. I'll do it.
Partner and have actually developed some type of improvement in.
To give her a big hug at the end of this race, the reliability for these engines to go through 22 races is at.
Goal setting for the season. That's true.
I use my D&D character's name apparently. I wonder, I'm sure I did this before the D&D novelization and the game with my brothers, but that's so funny. Anyways, that's gonna have to change, but All right, so we have some people coming today to help us out and to install new toilets, which is really exciting. So the girls are going to be crowded in here with me, but I just finished rereading chapter 7, and so we've now fully finished the travel leg. Other than some world building that I need to cover, specifically regarding the matriarchs and some of the practices in the sticks and how in the future they might compare to the capital. I also need to come up better with a timeline of how long the travel would take reasonably, especially how long the travel takes as they're traveling over these dunes and they would see the capital walls before they got to the capital, obviously. So they kind of see part of the capital walls and then they rise and fall as they move over the dunes and can see more or less. So I just need to figure out exactly when that would be in part of the journey. A little bit of timeline stuff. But other than little things like showing more instead of telling and kind of fleshing out some of the description of the locations, the first 7 chapters are shockingly good. I think the biggest chapter I'm going to have to change is the 2nd or 3rd, but even then I think it's one where I can work within my current document, so or just copy and paste whole chunks over, so that is awesome. For chapter 8, I'm actually on page 55 of 68 of my previous draft when I finished, so I'm going to go through and finish the read and then include some of my reread notes into the read outline, and then we're going to go back to what was actually draft 2 of Project Death and reread bits of that after. There is a point in which there's not any reason to continue rereading the story because so much of it's going to change. So I think I'll probably call it not too long into that 2nd draft, maybe up to the 50% mark of the story, maybe, because at that point the prince character was just too large anyways, I'm pretty sure. So basically all that's to say I'm getting very close to finishing the reread, and I'm hoping that I will be able to do that today depending on how much chaos there is out there, or I guess in here. Let's do it. And that is the final page. So after all that, I took 2,500 words of notes. And so I'm going to first save this. Sausage, what are you doing? Okay, I'm taking a little bit of a break here because I did save the 2nd draft that I wrote during NaNoWriMo a couple years back and transformed it into PDF. So I've been reading that, in the past few thousand notes have been from this old draft, but I'm getting to the point around this 97 page mark out of like 200 and what was it, 261, where things are starting to diverge a little bit. We haven't yet been introduced to the prince, but it's like a chapter away from here, you can see. Anyways, so you're getting high vlogs. Anyways, I'm more or less about to take the notes that I have here and just re-outline and call it a day until I actually get farther along to this point, because at this point I don't think that this old draft is going to help too much with where I want to go into the future with this new draft. So I'm basically done. I think I'm just gonna call it. Yeah, and time to re-outline. Oh wow. The bangs are all over the place this morning. I did just want to hop on to kind of finish out this video. Today is October 1st, Friday, October 1st. So that means that I'm officially starting my Project Death rewrite, Project Death Draft 4. I'm so excited. But because I need to write 2,500 words today, I cannot be here for too long. I did just want to say how much rereading the project really helped me when I'm comparing it to my re-outline. It's one of those things that obviously the re-outline isn't meant to be read by anyone, so there's not really a whole lot of heart in the outline. You don't get the oomph so much as it's a message to me to like plot points and important things that need to be hit so that the foreshadowing works later, and certain deaths need to happen in a certain way. Like that's what my outline serves as. But rereading what I'd written in previous drafts really helped me to feel the heart of the story again. So it's one of those where I think I'm going to take this as being the headlights writer, and I'm going to continue to re-outline with more information as I approach these chapters, and that way I'll have the heart of the story in mind as I'm re-outlining and rewriting. But oh my gosh, that's going to be it for me. Please do comment down below. Let me know if you are starting a completely new project for NaNoWriMo. Let me know if you're rewriting an old favorite, and if you are, when does rereading that project kind of factor into your prep? Or let me know what your Preptober steps look like. What does getting ready for this crazy, amazing, awesome event look like for you? But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all very soon with the new video. Bye. All right, I just finished. Well, I cannot talk. Oh, that lighting is terrible. Oh, that's much better, but.